in hour, we're going to punch right through. Steve is not stupid. Attorney Stephen Leahy. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, open tax resolution and the law. Stephen A. Leahy is there to help you with running YouTube live feeds or Facebook feeds. I would not. But within the next couple of weeks, I can imagine that this man will be expertly qualified for that position.
Okay, well that's first. The first thing when you're doing these kind of things is make sure everything's connected. So I'm trying to make.
We're talking.
So whatever. I'm just gonna double check my connection.
It is live. I'm watching.
Can you hear it?
I'm watching. Oh yeah. Let's go.
Sound?
Great sound. Let's do this.
Okay, let's do it.
Gentlemen,
so
sit back. We talked about the school shootings and how we should all come together. It doesn't matter if you are for gun control or you're against gun control. Legislation, but
no, nobody's for gun control. Everybody's for saving the same as gun control.
No, for the gun control, yeah, because you don't.
That is true. And that's true. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Back.
Okay.
We want
keep us focused. Okay, let's go, Debbie.
Welcome back to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Like the guy just said,
and this.
The IRS Radio Hour on AM 560. Leahy, Deborah Schreiner, and we're doing the very best that we can.
This has actually been, you know what? This is a very long week of everything that's happened.
Oh, you know, it was Fat Tuesday. I got fat on Tuesday because I ate a bunch of poochkies.
I ate a lot of food. I don't remember what
Poochkies. There's a Do Right Donuts is right by my office.
Oh, they had the poochkies.
Oh, I'm telling you, they had maple, chocolate, and raspberry. I thought the chocolate. Oh, I know. I should. As I was walking back, I thought I should have got all chocolate because I know I'm going to love it. I tried the chocolate. Oh, wow, that raspberry is pretty good. I said, well, I'll try this maple.
I love poochkies.
I have a bunch of.
Before we get.
I did eat one full chocolate, but then because I'm there with my mom and my stepmom. A lot, and they put them in quarters. Then you just say, oh, "It's just a quarter of one. It's just one bite." Can't wait.
Well, here's another Chicago tradition.
What's it? Okay.
It's the blog segment. The blog. The blog.
We've been doing this now for 4 years. Coming up on? Is it coming up on 4 or 5 years? Not sure. I think it's 4 years.
4 years
is our anniversary coming up.
Wow.
We're gonna. As you know, on the blog segment, I always talk about things that have been happening in the office. We talk a lot about them. We did talk a lot about poochkies. Anyway, I don't know if you know how poochkies are spelled, but nothing like you. I got a story. I'm not going to bore you with this. Well, let's talk about. Oh, see, I got this. Can you go hit that down for me, Jim?
I will.
Okay.
Continue to play.
my assistant here. Anyway, I always talk about what's going on in the office. And what's been going on in the office, because we're in February 29th was tax day. Tax day started. So I get a lot. If you listen to the beginning of the show, I say we help. And so sometimes people just get. So I have a gentleman came in and he had some family problems several years ago in 2011, 2012. Finances were bad. That's when the foreclosure thing, and lost his house, things, and got depressed, family problems. Stopped filing his tax returns. Just stopped. He's a W-2 employee, which means usually W-2 employees have money coming back. Right, they don't owe money usually. Now, sometimes they do, and I have one. And there's another one. That's the next case I'm going to talk about. That he did have some money that he did owe at the end of the year. But this gentleman, we don't know. Just hired us to go back to 12 and bring them up to date and get. So what we're doing is we're going to hurry up and get those tax returns filed, and this is why. What people don't understand, if I'm a W-2 employee, right, they're taking money out of my taxes, out of my paycheck every week into the IRS, and the IRS return, and then right. Mm-hmm. But here's what people don't understand: it's not a for you forever if you don't return within 3 years. They just don't give you the money. You forfeited that money. So no matter how much money you have coming back from the IRS, that you forfeited it. You don't get it. So he came to see me. So we're trying to hurry up and get, now maybe we can get 4 years of tax returns. If we get it in before April 17th, get those in. Because remember, this year, it's not April 15th because that falls on a Sunday. And then that means that the Washington, and then it goes. That's the way it works. Okay. It's emancipation to the next outlet.
It's Friday. I'm in love.
So it'll be April 17th. So if you get the previous years and then the 17th, the 2017 returns. So we got to hurry up and get them and refunds if he's got a refund coming. And again, this is what people don't understand. A lot of people believe it's like a bank account. I just leave it there and then I can go file my tax returns and those government will say, here's your money. We've been holding it for you. Again, doesn't work that way. It's only 3 years. So you got to hurry up. So if you have unfiled tax returns, I should mention here that we do have the special, right? If you someone did your tax returns last year and you want us to, and you don't really, a lot of people love their tax preparer. You should stick with your tax preparer if you like them, because they're. Then you should give me the bill from last year. Your 2016 tax return. We'll do your tax return for half the price. So, and I'm going to get a little off tangent here, but I had another call from someone, and they said, my tax preparer raised my fee this year to $180.
Whoa!
Does that seem fair? And I told her, yeah, I think that seems fair. Okay, my own opinion. It seems fair. She said they did it for $140 last year. We generally charge more than that. Listen to the show. I said, actually, she heard me on another show on David's show.
Oh,
and on that show, I said the same thing. If you call,
you know what this means, though? There are multiple ways of getting in touch with you to get that right information. That's what people don't understand. Remember, we talk about the 6 things that can happen if you're in trouble with the IRS. You do, at least. I just listen. Because
that's true.
This is true. This is truth. So, I was going to say.
Okay, well, it's truth to power. But let me tell you another guy that came in this week.
Oh, and don't just call Attorney Stephen Leahy, 312-664-6649 if it's a Chicago tax team. The IRS, and when I mean that true.
So if
you're in trouble,
He put his head in the sand because he missed 1 year, and then then the next year comes around. Oh, I got to do now. I got 2 years to do, and I get and then that deadline's gone, and now it just kind of snowballed. So he got another guy, and he came to me several weeks ago, and same thing. He and his wife hadn't filed for some years, and believed that they were going to get a refund back every year, and we did the returns for them. It turns out some of the years he didn't get a refund, or it wasn't like a refund that he thought he was going to get, because the IRS said he owed about $20,000, and then we figured, well, we'll do the refunds. He figured I'm going to get $3,000 or $4,000 every year, so I get that's 3 years. You're going to get it. That's about $12,000. It's going to pay down what you owe. You're going but it turned out he was owing about $100 a year, so not a great deal of money, but he still. So now that we got to do a payment plan for, and that gets a little bit more complicated. But anyway, this what happens to the people. They get kind of flustered, and they put their head in the sand, and
trust me, I know.
The first guy I was talking about, I was frozen. He said, I just feel like I'm frozen. I can't move. I can't do anything about it. And I always ask people, well, how's that? It makes you feel. It makes me feel and I'm frozen. I don't know what to do. If you don't know what to do,
this week I just became a real estate agent with Ad Properties, and that's how I felt all week. Keep your head in the sand. Yeah, look, I'm brand new. I get it, but I really haven't been out there doing much. I really haven't been out there trying to get my name out there and door knock and cold call and do what I have to do to generate business. That's not the way of going, ladies and gentlemen. I know exactly. Let's get our hands problem now, because if we don't address this problem, 664-6649 or visit Chicago. More okay. Because I forgot, we're doing a YouTube live. Go on YouTube and catch some of our videos. Chicago. Take it away. We'll be right after the commercial break. Here.
That's okay.
Now, is that this is a brand new thing. We've been doing this show for 4 years. For those of you who are just tuning in, looking up IRS related issues, we're going to be doing this every week. And if you're in the Chicago on AM 560, The Answer, we do a show, as we say all the time. AM 560, The Answer. That's the tagline. That's what we do best, to say that. Actually, that's not true. We have great segments, and Deborah Schreiner is the best in the business when it comes to being our technical producer. If you have any questions, please leave a comment on this YouTube page. We look forward to giving you great content in the future as well. This is all brand new for us. This is episode 1 of the live feed. We look forward to looking back 4 or 5 years in the future when we're established, credible human beings and going, that is amazing, isn't it? You're already established and credible.
Okay, so this... we're supposed to just keep doing the show, not play in between segments.
Well, this is a commercial break, so I wanted to give a little bit of a break.
It's a little. We're going to do our next segment because we're going to do Trump. So I'm telling Deborah, because Deborah has to play the intro music.
You would never make it on reality television.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy on AM 560, The Answer. Attorney Stephen Leahy brings his passion and expertise to your radio each and every week during the IRS Radio Hour. Tune in, take notes, and be educated. Learn your options resolving financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
This is the IRS Radio Hour on AM. We're here to do, let's just go. We do. So let's go into the next segment.
We're talking about Trump. Trump!
Take a look at my Twitter account.
President Trump!
Sort of amazing.
We're talking about Trump. Trump!
America first.
President Trump!
Together, we will make America great again. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Make America Great Again. MAGA. That was our technical producer, Deborah Schreiner, showing off her singing skills. We couldn't do it, Jim.
I can't.
Co-host, my nephew, my very good friend, my realtor. So a lot's going on with Trump. You know, I don't know if you saw this, Jim, but did you see that his poll numbers are around 49% now? He's much higher.
I've been paying attention due to what has happened recently in the news with the school shooting.
Well, that's all they talk about. Of course, they're blaming Trump on the school shootings. You know, it's his fault.
Between Trump winning and school shooting, that doesn't make sense. So if shooting wouldn't have happened, well, because they want to say the kid's a white supremacist, the kid is. So what? He's right. Who cares? He's killed innocent people.
Well, that's what.
Who cares?
That's what we hear when it goes the other way. You know, it doesn't matter. But when it could be used by, we talk about a lot about this on this show about the correlation between media and the Democratic Party and how they seem to be in concert to be advancing the same agenda. I think it's a problem. But I also wanted to talk about. Robert Mueller had just indicted 13 Russians for interfering with the election, and in his indictment, he says that the Russians worked with unwitting participants. So it couldn't be Trump being collusion because that wouldn't be unwittingly; he would be colluding with them. So these. Would indict these. He's supposed to be looking at to see if there was collusion between Trump and the Russians, not just to go to affect the election. They do. That's what the Russians. That's what we do in their election.
You don't think that happened in the 80s, 70s, 60s? You don't think that any of that happened? I'm saying,
give money to some candidates, but even if they give money to some candidates,
okay, what if it's taking a couple of ballots and changing it? Okay, that's wrong. But we know for a fact that there are electronic ballots that are recorded that switch from Trump to Hillary. We know that is a fact. That is factual.
They're not investigating.
I am literally. This is what I'm trying to tell you is that there is that's the only thing I can see is collusion wise. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, and it kind of goes the other way. The collusion, I think, in that they're showing that Hillary and the DNC was kind of colluding with the Russians. I don't know. You think if that came up, that Mueller would come to that conclusion, or would he just stop his investigation and say, "Oh, Trump's okay," and not really go that way, or is this an indication? Do you think?
I mean, they talked about it, but this incident happened that's really...
that still hasn't been cleared
Maybe
yet.
It has. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention because of the school shooting, so I can't really make a comment on that. Maybe it has. But with all honesty, we're not talking about...
Came out about this shooting. I was listening to Joe Walsh, and Joe Walsh was commenting how not generally proud of
no, he's not
of Trump, but he's saying because he didn't talk together as Americans and trying to, as we were talking about earlier, trying to come up with a solution to this problem. On these tragedies, and let's try to come up with those.
Facebook Live, the YouTube event that we're doing right now, because we're doing a YouTube Live channel. This is Friday. Just want to announce that. But it's all about, if it's not on gun control, if it's not the right to life, if it's not on all these, then what are we? We're just a nation that'll be full of violence. Come together, and we need to come together to help.
Trump segment, is that
we need to come together to help fight the IRS, or at least represent. 1-2-664-6649 to visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. Because after the commercial break, more.
Okay, so that's good.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you so much again for tuning into our YouTube Live channel. Again, this is a brand new thing.
I think you're supposed to pretend, aren't you?
Why not?
I'm pretending like it's not there.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you're bad at this. You're not really photogenic. I like real reality TV show. I like the sandwich. Sometimes I put mustard on it. Sometimes I don't.
Stop it. What is that from? It's a good sandwich.
You know where it's from? Yeah.
I do.
It's a good sandwich.
What is it from?
It's from Family Guy when they do your Peter Griffin.
That's right.
Yeah, sometimes I use this toothpaste. It's a little. Here's my dog. Love dog.
I have a new toothbrush. I did get a new toothbrush.
You're not really reality TV material.
Sure. Your dad and I really wanted to do a reality TV show about the riggers and putting the show together.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, it would be really cool because you show the picture before, there's nothing there, and then in 3 days, man, there's all this machinery is put in and all this stuff is operating. And
then could you imagine like having the commentary? Yeah, and then I told Tony, you better watch out.
I told Tony, the guys, don't steal anything on camera. It's a joke.
It is a joke. I kid.
Building stuff. That's what reality shows are. But that was your dad's idea to put that on. And we had started a trade show business because we were
Leahy Machine Expo,
and we started that business, and that was one of our goals is to get the business up and running, and then do a reality show. I'm going to do a reality show about the time I'm just sitting in the office,
just filling out these papers. C,
which is what we're going to talk. In the next,
what did I ask you last time? Something about like I changed the subject on you.
Talked about something else, and I had a question, and I wanted to go to the YouTube.
I could see you 100% being on the. Yep. This is the water cooler.
Radio show.
You guys follow me. I do a here's my
I do a radio show and
I know.
Yes, I do it. And it goes well. It's well by the audience.
We're about to start the next segment and come out of the commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need any IRS help, remember Open Tax Resolution is there for you, as you'll hear a couple more times before this feed is over. 312-664-6649. Or if you're looking to buy or sell property in Northern Illinois with 727. Again, that phone number is 853.
What you asked me last week? What you got?
I'll figure that one out.
You got me off kilter because
you really got me now.
You wanted to talk about something else.
I asked you a question that was off topic, and you're like, "I will answer that now."
I think. Are you making fun of me?
I can't wait to see you ballroom dancing later.
Oh, stop it.
IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Stephen Leahy. That's what Jimmy thinks. But
I think you're boring. Boring.
I am attorney Stephen Leahy. This is the IRS Radio Hour on AM.
Why I say
I'm here
that?
with, let me finish introducing you. This
sorry.
is this is my nephew, my good friend, my co-host, Jim Leahy. We're joined with Deborah Schreiner. She's attentive to all of the sound going through the system. Is that right, Debbie?
Yep, I'm keeping an ear on things.
That's what she does that best. Best in the business. Go ahead.
Hands down. Hands down. You're not going to find anybody better with those introductions that we have. There's nobody better. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for tuning into the IRS Radio Hour. I want to say that attorney Stephen Leahy is not boring because we had a conversation between the commercial break, and he goes, "Am I boring?" And I said, "Attorney Stephen Leahy, you're not boring. You help people get out of IRS trouble."
Is that really what you said?
Yes, there's nothing cooler than that.
Well, I agree with that.
So anyway, and this is the coolest part of our show.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Know-It-All, the segment where attorney Stephen Leahy answers those IRS-related questions that we all have nagging at us. And this, I believe you're going to be talking about 1099.
Remember last year I had last week I had a question up, and I was about to read the question, and then I'm trying to remember exactly what your.
It was a 1099 about a gentleman that received a 1099K in the mail because we talked about 1099A, 1099C, which if I million times is that cancellation of debt. You go through and tell us what the levels of 1099A, C.
A lot of people just, that's very good, Jim. I know you reminded me of something because 1099C, as you mentioned, is a cancellation of debt, and it's taxable as income. So, for instance, I lost my home last year, and I did a short sale, and I owed my mortgage company $190,000. And this is a real case happening right now in my office. Owed $190,000 in deficiency. A deficiency is the difference between what they sold it for and what they owe the IRS. Uh-huh. So the mortgage company agreed to take less money for that I owed them. Will forgive or release their lien on the property and let the people buy it for less money. And they didn't go after my clients for the extra money, $190,000. So my client's an older woman, and she's got a little bit of money in the bank, and she's very concerned about that. What would happen if they take this deficiency? And again, I warned her, you're probably going to get a 1099C. And again, a 1099C is a cancellation of debt. Sometimes they'll do what they call a 1099A, and a 1099A is abandonment of property. So sometimes before they forgive the debt, so let's say that the mortgage company says, I still owe them that money, $190,000. They haven't forgiven it yet. Then they would send me a 1099A, and they'd say, well, this is what we. And then you have to account for the sale of the property with the information on a 1099A. If they have forgiven the debt in this situation, instead of sending a 1099A, they send a 1099C. And I know it's confusing. I know it's really confusing.
You've lost me a little bit. It just is so AC.
Since 2007, they had this Mortgage Forgiveness Act in Congress, which said if it was your accepted, you could say, okay, you're going to bill me for the $190,000 as income, but this to pay tax. Mortgage Forgiveness Act, and every year Congress renewed it. They'd always renew it at the end of the year. So this year, sold the house in 2017. I'm waiting. December, all December's happening. They're trying to they're not. The New Year's comes and goes. They never passed the Mortgage Forgiveness Act. So now there is an exception because it was your primary residence. So that changes it for a lot of people. So in this case, this woman's going to owe some money. Now, for one thing, if you're technically insolvent at the time that they forgave the debt, and that's another. It's a woman.
Did we answer that?
And she had some credit card debt. Her husband had passed. But again, we're trying to work out a way to get her technically insolvent, or at least that she doesn't have to pay the tax. Because maybe I owe the tax, but I don't have the money to pay it, so then I can get into currently not collectible status. But anyway, there's things you can do. If you get a 1099, here's the worst advice you'll get. Not from me, but from others will tell you, oh, forget about it. Don't worry about it. Just put it away. Don't even account for it. 99K, and I'm going to 99K, same thing. They'll tell you, forget it. What they're doing. Anyway, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Tax resolution is that you'll sit down and you'll understand their particular situation. Remember, I need 1099 for
that. Yes.
312
Steve
646649 or visit Chicago. You know what we're gonna
tax man for me coming into the next segment.
People focusing in on our YouTube live show. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you're not, this is. Remember, every Friday we're going to be giving. We're going to be not giving away things. We're going to be giving.
We'll be mailing prizes to you.
And give.
Why can't I see any? Okay, whatever. I can't see any of the comments.
That's okay.
I was
comments, or we'll be able to read later.
No, I'm talking.
Did the Mr. Know-It-All segment. If you have a question that you want answered, doesn't matter where you live. If you live in Illinois, if you live in New York, if you live in Wyoming, if you live in Oregon,
that's true. Because I've been getting a lot of calls from YouTube recently from out of the Chicagoland area, and I'll answer your questions. Even though I'm in Chicago, I can help people outside of Chicago because it's federal tax stuff, and it's national. I can help people national. I can't practice law outside of Chicago, but I can solve your IRS problem outside of Chicago. That's the way it works.
Well, that's nice to know.
It is nice to know.
It's the same with me. I just had somebody come up to me recently and ask about buying a home in Wisconsin.
And you're not licensed.
I am not licensed in Wisconsin. I can refer you to the proper channels to look at that home in Wisconsin or Indiana or Iowa. I know where to go for that, but I personally cannot do that for you. I personally cannot take you on that tour, bring you to that property. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Open Tax Resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649.
Why can't I see the comments on this, Jimbo?
It's okay. We'll answer it later. You would be a terrible reality TV show.
That's just not true.
What would you do?
First,
good guy. But I'm going to tell you what. If he says I'm bad at this one last time, awesome.
One thing we all know, at least this is what you tell me, Jim, is that reality shows are all scripted. So I could do a script.
Jim, think this is all fake. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to bring it real.
It would be exciting and real. Well, maybe not.
Be us getting drunk on the couch watching Cubs videos and Bears videos.
He was great. It's true. I do still watch the 1985, and then we'll slip in the put the Super Bowl shuffle on.
Speaking of shuffle, you're shuffling in about.
What about? Okay, Debbie. My wife has been after me for years to do ballroom dancing with her. I'm against it, but I finally have agreed to go with her tonight because she keeps asking me, and it will make her so happy. Yeah. Do it or yes or no?
You should go.
I knew she would say so. A wedding, you see that they've taken ballroom dancing lessons, and then they get out there. They're usually the best ones there, but it's like.
Stephen Leahy, and I'll tell you what, I know that when Guitar Hero was a thing, you wouldn't pick it up because you would have never put it down. When you go ballroom dancing, I know you were going to take it.
It's funny that you mentioned that because it is so true that when that came out, I wouldn't pick it up. I still have never played.
And you would have played that. You would have been over every day. Remember when I brought over that Iwo Jima video game on the computer? Because remember, in the corner, let them die.
What a. That's for you, honey.
She's not watching. The district attorney's a Republican. We have fun.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy on AM 560, The Answer. Attorney Stephen Leahy brings his passion and expertise to your radio each and every week during the IRS Radio Hour. Tune in, take notes, and be educated. Learn your options resolving financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
The tax man. Yeah.
This is the show here on. This week we are doing YouTube Live. Subscribe to Stephen. Able to watch, and you'll.
Information because we do a Facebook Live too. I've looked into doing both of them at the same time. It's not as easy as you think.
It is. You just
It's not as. Okay, well, it's not as easy.
Anyway,
your answer is kind of archaic. You just
archaic.
It's
conversation. Talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Thanking all of you for tuning into our show. We try to answer all the questions out there regarding going to be the one answering it, as you all know, avid IRS Radio Hour listeners. That's attorney Stephen Leahy's job. I'm just here to add some fun and cheer to an already bleak situation. But remember, open tax resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649 and visit chicagotaxteam.com. Be your hub to help fight the IRS. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to wrap the show up, talk a little bit about the Blackhawks.
Oh, because I watched the Blackhawks last night.
Thursday night.
And Thursday night. And it was their 8th loss in a row. And, you know, I watch every game still. And every game, it seems like they're in it. They're in it. Not a... And like they had the... Not so much in the last 3 minutes. They were in there on their zone. Like they were in there, and it was beautiful. but they couldn't get it passed in, so they lose the game. I don't know if you saw the third goal, but the third goal, Farnsworth, whatever his name, Forsberg, whatever. What he did was he went behind and stopped the puck. It jumped and it went to somebody, and it was a year.
Because it's like 6-1 or something like that. Anyway,
I'm looking at the
ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you know that I did join at Properties up in Bannockburn. So if you are up in the northeastern Illinois, 47. James Leahy, Leahy, at the word at properties.com. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for tuning into the show. We enjoyed it. Next week, we're going to be coming back, hopefully, a more cheerful tone. We want to send out our thoughts and prayers to all those that have lost their lives in Florida, to the families who have lost loved ones, to lost the kids.
That's so sad.
I understand. So we send our thoughts and prayers. We need to come to a solution, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to come to a solution right away. So remember, Open Tax Resolution is there for you if you need to come to a solution for your IRS problems. 312-664-6649 or visit Chicago Tax. I want to thank you so much. Remember, same bat time, same bat channel every Sunday at 5 o'clock, and we do Fridays YouTube Live as well. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more great programming here on